Hey guys, how's it going? Again, it's springtime. Trying to get everything ready for the season. I went through the bikes. These two are ready to rock and roll. Got them detailed and cleaned up. Did the rest of the truck. Same. These have been running, and they're both two-strokes. So I'm using the premix that you buy in a can that has no ethanol in it. But the old bore tracker, on the other hand, has regular fuel in it. Of course, it sat over the winter without me running it out. I shut the fuel off going to the carburetor, but didn't drain the tank. And then I went to go hit the throttle. The throttle was stuck. Turned the gas on, and the gas just started overflowing out of the needle and seat. You want a live demo? There you go. So that is telling me that the float is stuck inside the carburetor too. So let's go take her apart and get it cleaned up. Smells delicious. So if you get that guy out of there, hopefully of course it's not. But if I grabbed the 1/2 inch, it would have been 9/16. It's just the way it works, right? I'm not sure. I think I might have to pull the carb to get that float ball off. I don't quite remember. We may end up pulling the whole carburetor off there anyway just to clean it. Let her ooze. Don't look too bad. Does have some dirt in the float bowl, but that's not terrible. Wonder if the float sunk. It has that heavy kind of feel to it. We'll find out. A little poker. We need a little poker. We don't need a little poker. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm running into. There's a pin that sticks out at the bottom of it. That pin right there. And judging by the green that's on the bottom of that, it's got to come apart and get cleaned anyway. We want to shake that float and see if we got a rattle. But let's go pull that carburetor away and give it a spring cleaning. Why not? I cracked the 2 screws loose. Should give us enough wiggle room. Oh, that's good. I don't want to have to go chase one of those down. But I bet the center of the carburetor. Do I want to pull that? You know, if I pull it, it won't need it. And if I don't, it will. I'm going to take a mirror. I'm going to go look up the pee-pee hole and see if I could see any kind of cruddiness to it. Let's see what that tells us. I'm surprised actually you got that dirty that fast, but I guess it really shouldn't be. Nah, that jet's kind of green. I got to get that jet out of the center, so off it comes. We can also drain the tank. I think the tank's probably got about that much in it. Actually, there's a gauge on the other side. You can see it, the levels right there. So that's right across. Probably got about a quart in there. Plus, it's all old crappy stuff anyway. So we'll let that piss out. I think I'm going to do it right on the carburetor though. Right on the bike. I don't want to take the throttle cable apart. But if you guys can see inside there. Couple of shades of green going on. So let's see if we can get that sucker out. Yeah. That was close to not happening. Actually, might be still close to not happening. That don't feel good. Still peeing. Yeah, you can see that though. That's the main needle. All the green that's on the end of that. Yeah, good. And the full bowl wasn't terrible, but it's got a little bit of crap in it. Hey, I got it cleaned up pretty good. Here we'll go put it back together. The best I can. Again, the jet on the inside is jammed in there pretty good, so I cleaned it out with a fine drill bit and blew air through it and carb cleaner through it and all that kind of happy stuff. You guys looking here? So we are going to do our best to reassemble it. Put some fresh fuel in it. See how it does. The fuel that we have here, I want to clean that nut real quick. It's got caca. 1 second. I'm going nowhere. Good. We cannot get fuel that does not have ethanol in it. Certain states do, but I can get racing fuel. Trying to think what the octane of it is, but and that's fairly expensive too. I think it's about, I want to say it's 20 bucks a gallon, 16 bucks, between 16 and 20 bucks a gallon. I may end up going and buying a gallon of that, see how it works. I don't need that kind of octane. I don't know if that would cause me an issue or not, but I guess we could try. My other option is buying this stuff, which is True Fuel, which like Home Depots and stuff sell. That stuff right there. You can get it without that premix in it also. Generally, I try to use that for the two-stroke, especially the little two-stroke stuff, but we'll see. I gotta do the doctor's orders there. That may have a blockage in it up top. I'm not sure. I also sprayed the butterfly. The butterfly was stuck with the throttle. It's kind of guesstimate right there. And the idle one. Where's the idle one? Where's the idle one? Not too dirty. That's the mix for the idle. That's the mix for the main when you rev it up. Generally, all that stuff is kind of running in. You back it off 2 turns. That's a rough guesstimate of where it should be good. Let me get those 2 screws started. I'll get that bolted up off of camera. So the carb's all back together. It's the next day, around noontime. Getting ready for lunch. I am out of gas in my can, so friends coming over. We're gonna go dine at the diner, and I'll get that. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for him to show up and go get that, get some other things to kind of look over. Looking over it, I was noticing that could be an issue in the near future. Got some slop hanging in that rear pulley, so I'm gonna go get our door handle chain guard out of the way, get that pulley off, and see if we can help that situation out a little. The cage is out of the way. Let's see if we can figure out which one's the right Nope. I have no idea what I put together with. Could be standard, could be metric, could be anything. Kind of egg the key out. Is there two of them in there? Nope, only one. See if I can grab this. I don't think it wants to come out without a fight. You know what has to come out now. Like a redneck dent puller. I'm slipping. What would you do? Tighten it up. Just tighten it back up. Well, I will continue to struggle with that. I think the trick is to leave the key there and tap the pulley off. Maybe not. It went more. So much for these neck grease fitting again. You can get a socket, put a socket over that, clear it, give it a drive. I'm going to try tapping it off from the backside. See how this works. Well, there's your problem. That's a fat, and that's a skinny. That weird looking deal. Must have tried to had to make something kind of funky at the time. Gotta fix it now. And back from lunch. So that's, looks like I made that quite a while. That's a good reason why I couldn't pull that thing out of there, huh? But we need to make ourselves a stepped one. Okay, looks pretty good. Is it that one? Or is it? That one's skinnier. I say we take, where am I? That guy. And shave down half of it to fit the width of that guy. Is the only problem going to be just making sure the set screws you're still going to be able to push on. I'm wondering why I made that sucker so long the last time. Obviously I didn't have that set. So let's work on milling that guy to fit the pulley. Well, I'd say we just hit it with a cutting wheel, see if you can wing our way. Just wing it. I got 9 more, so we can screw up a couple and still have plenty to replace it with. See how this does. That's the width we need. That gives your eyes. Way too sloppy. I suck. Let's go try that again with a better one. Let's try whittling. Yeah, maybe. I'll let that cool off a second. And it's a little too tall. Try that. Let's see how that does for us. Should be getting close. It's trying to squirm up out of the hole. See if we can. It still looks like it's trying to work up out of there. Maybe not. It's flat right now. Brass rod. We're in the hole. I could have made it a little tighter. Feels like it's kind of slopping a little bit. Nothing like what it was though. So let's go throw a set screw back in there. Actually, it has to go in further yet. Bolt that up, put a belt on it, see what we get. So, I think we should be okay. Kind of keep an eye on it over time. See what happens. the guard back on it. Try to do it slow so I don't spill again. I think I'm showing on the gauge. Yeah, I'm right today. I know the carb's gonna be way out of adjustment, but see if you get fire it up. We'll dial it in. Turn the gas on, see if it pisses through at first. I think that's the choke on. Not sure. No joke. The idle is too far up. That's another thing that needs to be addressed right there. It's missing one of the two cogs on the pull start. That warm up a little bit. Open the door. Gonna let that warm up and we'll dial it in. That's pretty much ready to go mechanically. I checked the oil, it seemed fine. And I figured we'll go detail it a little bit. Nothing but the best. Kind of give that little misty, we'll wipe her down. Leave the dirt on the tire because I like to make it look old. Or best to keep it off the belts, huh? And wipe that down. We're gonna turn the camera on while I'm wiping it down and explain what the bike is, because probably most of the people watching now don't realize. Again, what this is the, I believe, the second bike I built, and this one's 5 years old by now. And it started out as a 50s Schwinn. I think they have like light, medium, and heavyweight. It was an either a medium or a heavyweight frame that I started with. And the engine was, I actually got it for free at a yard sale. It's a Rio, R-E-O, same as the car truck company. I think the bike frame is 50s. I think the motor was early 50s or late 40s. I forget off the top of my head. It is a 4-stroke. It is the larger of them. They go anywhere from, I think, 1 1/4 to 2.5 horsepower. This is 2 1/4 horse. It has a built-in gear reduction on it. I think it's 6-to-1. So it pretty much slows the rear end down a decent amount. If you look at the other side, I always try to put 2 pulleys on them that I can play with for adjusting how much speed they need. And those are the 2 pulleys you're looking at right there, those 2 guys. And I kind of leave that area for when I do my first road trip. If I have to tweak it, I can adjust it. But it actually ended up being fine just where it was. And I left it alone. Back wheels, a 24-inch rim bolted to welded to a 26-inch rim. These are big staples that you would hang like the conduit in your house with back in the day. So I welded those on as the spacers in between for the rim. This section down here, I don't know if you could see. That guy right there is another bicycle frame. That is that part of a bicycle cut up to make the stand, and then that flips up and clips into the back wheel right there. And everything else is just, again, made out of scrap that I had laying around at the time. These are door handles I showed I had apart. This is a wrench. This is the for a mower deck lifting. Pay attention, yeah, I'm looking. This is for lifting and lowering a mower deck, and that's the connection to the gear drive. And again, that's off of a mower deck also, or some part of a tractor of some sort. The gas tank I made when I had my back surgery, I wasn't allowed to lift more than I think 5 pounds, so I made it out of cardboard. And while I was recovering, the major part of the recovery, I still came out in the garage, and 2 hours a day or so, I don't know why, 2 hours a day or so, I would kind of do what I can with that, and I did. And it's worked out pretty good. It cruises probably, again, mopedy speed, probably does 30. Don't want to go much faster on a bicycle anyway. And never had an issue with getting stopped or pulled over. I'll run it to the diner for breakfast, that kind of thing, and putt it around shows a little bit. It's done me well. Anything clean enough? The front end is off of a Sears Space Liner, I think was the name of it. It was an all chrome bike. I still have the other half of it, but it had that cool Springer front end on it, and I wanted to put that on there. And I raked it to give it more room. The bottom tube was cut off the frame, and I took it and I stretched everything out and made room for the engine cradle, and then made this loop down here, which is, this is a sink faucet. I should probably take you off the stand. This is a sink faucet from here to here. These are golf club stems. What else is wacky on this? There's a quarter welded in it somewhere. Wrench for the shifter. That was in the front of the house. I was getting a mail one day. That's a tractor trailer decorative cap. I said that'll be my gas cap. And that's just regular plumbing setup, and then just epoxied it into a plumbing cap onto that cap for the aesthetics. That's a coal miner's lantern with the handle removed and turned sideways. And the taillight is one of those military green flashlights. You kind of rotate the head on them. With that's part of it. Got rid of the body of it, cleaned off the green paint, and then that's just the taillight from something that fit in the fixture. Nice little motor. I like the 4 strokes. The sound of them is much better. That's it. Ready for the season. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.